Hey, if y'all seeing this, you're catching the replay. Just fast forward through this part and we'll get into the good stuff. Let me turn that off. I done came in here without some lip gloss. Hey y'all, if it's your first time catching me live, let me know where you're watching me from. If you've been here before, welcome back to the party. Welcome back to the party. There is a question box down below where you can drop your questions and then we can bring them up and talk about them together. Darn, how did I do that? I don't even have a chapstick or anything. And make sure you put your questions in the question box so they don't get lost. Maybe I'll go get one in a bit. I might be able. From Minneapolis. I've never been to Never mind. I'm scared. All right. Say one more crazy thing, and you're gonna be blocked. Atlanta, New Orleans, Ecuador, New Jersey. Okay, Jersey in the house. I'm a Jersey girl. I live in North Carolina now, but I'm originally from New Jersey. As y'all are coming in, put your questions in the question box down there. Florida. I just came back from Florida yesterday, actually. That's legit, though. All right, so RJ Ronnie, you want to talk about marriage? What do you want to talk about marriage? How many people in here want to get married? If you aspire to be a married woman or man, because I think we have some fellas in here, drop a 1 in the comment, or, just kind of let me know that you want to be married. I think marriage is beautiful. I think that marriage is powerful. I think that, hey, Quay. I think that marriage is a game changer for anyone's life, especially when you marry someone where you are both on the same page. I think that marriage is there's a word I'm looking for, a cheat code to success. I think that marriage is a partnership. I think that two are definitely better than one. I think that two people can go further than somebody trying to run by themselves. I think that marriage is beautiful. What do you guys think about marriage? Kingdom. Marriage. Ooh, 13 years in a relationship with a man and he married someone else within 3 weeks of a mutual breakup. Yeah, that's why I don't. I'm gonna get them out of here. That's why I don't subscribe to the idea of being in a relationship with somebody for years upon years upon years, and there's no direction, there's no marriage, no nothing. And here's the thing. I have been one of the girls that was like, I never want to be married quick again. And I have to take that back because I do. I don't want a long drawn out process of getting married. Like I want, as soon as we catch the revelation, I want to go ahead and start moving towards marriage. So if you're in a relationship with somebody for that long and the conversation hasn't come up, or it's came up and nobody is making a move, you're wasting your time. Especially if you desire to be married. If you desire to be married and that person is not making any moves, you need to think for yourself. Excuse me, I'll shift my wig. You need to think for yourself, do I really want to do this? Do I want to wait? Absolutely not. I'm not doing that. Like, soon as we both catch the revelation, like, we should be together and we're choosing each other and we think that this is a good fit, we need to move forward towards that. It's peeing the dating pool and getting married. It's tough. I don't believe that. I believe that there's some people out here that are just jerks, but then I also think that getting married isn't hard. I've always wanted to be married, but nowadays, does that really exist? It does. My girlfriend had a marriage. It was called the Year of the Bride last year. And during this marriage fast, a lot of people all over the world did this marriage fast. And there were so many testimonies coming in of kingdom marriages that have come together. There's still testimonies coming in. And she's actually doing that fast again in November. So I'll be posting the details so that way y'all can join. But If you want it, you just, it's strategy. A lot of people don't have strategy. Should I get involved with someone else? Is it too soon after 13 years? My biggest question is, have you healed? What have you done since the breakup? What have you done since the breakup? Because if you haven't done anything since the two of you broke up, what's going to happen is that you're literally just going to fall into the same type of situation. You're going to fall prey to the same type of man, and you're going to fall into it's going to be a cycle, right? Or you're going to take all of your baggage and all of your hurt and all of your disappointment from that relationship, and you're going to project it on this new person, and they don't have nothing to do with that, which is also going to cause more heartbreak, because a good man is going to leave you alone. He's going to be like, yeah, I don't have to deal with all of that, and I'm not. And he's going to be like, peace out. I do not date with intention. I'm right. Not without intention. Yeah. Period. If your partner isn't open to having a prenup in 2023, is that a deal breaker or a red flag? No. I'm not really the girl that really wants a prenup, because I feel like when you're signing a prenup, you are writing a declaration, so to speak, to your divorce. I think that we should just get with people that we actually should be with. Most definitely. I just wasted 2.5 years. I'm sorry. One thing I will do is I will leave a relationship. I will get up out your way, because if we're not seeing eye to eye, or we're no longer compatible, or I see things in you that I don't want to deal with long term, I am out of there. I'm out of there. I recently stopped dealing with somebody for that exact reason. And it was like, while there was the good, it was when I looked at overall what I wanted in my life, that was not it. I was like, me have to put up with that forever? It's a no for me. And I got up out of there. I'm having a hard time finding a partner because I work from home. I hardly go out. You got to leave a house, sis. You have to leave a house. Is it just me, or men very flaky and exhibiting avoidant behavior even towards committing to actual dates? Some men. So here's the thing. We can't categorize all men, because when men start saying all women want is this, all women want is that, blah, 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 we get offended, because we're like, all women aren't like that. It's just the women that you dealt with, right? So we can't do that same thing in return and say, is it that all men, blah, 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 blah. No, it's just the men that you're choosing. If you're going through the same type of situation and running into the same circumstances, you are choosing the same exact type of man over and over and over. And the problem really isn't even them. The problem is you. It's you. Because you need to get in your head, why am I choosing these people that are emotionally unavailable, avoidant? Like, what is it in me that has this like desire to fight for a man's attention when I don't have to? I don't have to. The strategy. So you guys, I'm going to post it close. You can go follow Tiffany Montgomery and sign up on her website so you can get the details now if you want to. Now I'm dating someone with purpose, and I have healed from it. Amen. Amen. Your thoughts on Jeannie Mai? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in their relationship. Their marriage. They publicized it, but they didn't publicize their problems, right? So I can't form an opinion on something that I don't know. What went on inside the dynamics of their relationship? I have no idea. What's your angle on dating multiple people? I think that you should date multiple people. And then here's the thing. When I say date, my definition of date is to obtain information. I'm not saying you're sleeping with them, you're all that intimate stuff. No, we're not doing that. We're hanging out, we're having conversation, we're asking each other questions. We both are stating what it is that we want and where we're at, and then we're making a decision if we want to move into the more intimate questions, like, spending more time together and things like that. But I don't think that you should just be like, oh, I'm just gonna put all my eggs in this one basket here and just kind of see what happens. Negative. But a lot of people think that dating is sleeping with everybody that they're with because they think they're cute or they had some type of vibe or whatever. And that's just like crazy. Make sure you guys are putting your questions in the question box and not in the comments, okay? That way I don't miss them, because I want to keep up with the conversation that's in the comments. But if your questions are in there, it's going to slow me down, and I don't want that. For the young lady that asked about healing, I have a healing ebook linked in my bio. It's $7, so you can go grab the healing ebook. Boyfriend lost his job 3 months ago and our relationship hasn't been the same. Understandably so. When a man's money is funny, he's out of his masculine energy. He's not going to feel as confident as he did when he had those resources coming in. So my question is he trying to get another job? Is he riding your coattail? Like, where are things now? Or is he, because if he's trying to get a job and he keeps getting faced with no's, if that was my man, one, I would be encouraging him. Two, I would be praying, because the God I serve would have been provided, right? And then two, I would be searching and helping him find different jobs that he can apply to. I'm not made for dating these men, these new men. I tried it. Well, I think that you're talking to the wrong men. Honestly and truly, because all men are not the same. All men are not the same. And the realities too that we have to get into is every guy that you meet is not going to be a potential. You don't need to go in with the mindset or the hope that this is going to be somebody because he's attractive, or because his online profile looks good, or he has a good job, or he said a few nice things. That's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. Like, you really have to get to know somebody over time to see if that's somebody that is worth you investing in. I've been having conversation with someone that I've known already for maybe a year or two, and we've only started like really getting to know each other for the past, literally as of today, 30 days, right? And there's still so much I feel like I need to know about him in order to be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is, you know what I mean? So it's like we just got to slow down and stop being in a rush. I think that's one of the biggest issues too. Like, where are we in a rush to? Why are we in such a rush? Why we can't just take our time? He's pushing you away, yeah, because his confidence is down. His confidence is down. You might need to give him a little space. Now, I'm not saying break up with him, but you may want something from him that he doesn't have the capacity to give you right now. And if you can't weather this storm with him while he's navigating it, then you might want to go find somebody else. But he may need some space. And you got to see if that's something that you can do. Yes, agreed. Everything is so escalated. I like to take my time. Yeah. And you should take your time. Don't let nobody rush you. Don't let nobody rush you. If it happens organically and it happens soon, I think, because I was listening to a story of a testimony of a woman that she was married for 20 years, got a divorce. She was at an event and she got a prophetic word, and God basically told her that she was going to get married soon and it was going to be a quick work. Right? And she was like, oh my God, no. Like, she was like, I don't want to get married. I just got a divorce. Like, she just wanted to chill. You know what I mean? I mean, that's normally what you want to do. But no, she got that word in September. By October, she had met her now husband. By December, they were married. And it was the right thing to do. They're still together. It's working out. So I think one of the main things is that a lot of people aren't in position to receive that, right? And when I say in position, you don't know who you are. You don't know what you deserve. You don't know what God says about you and how God says you should conduct yourself, right? And once you learn those things, then it'll be easier for you to rest in your feminine essence and receive the kind of men that you actually deserve. And then also dismiss the ones that it's like, oh, I get why you would want a chance, but you would never, right? But a lot of women We have identity issues. We don't know what it means to be a kingdom woman. We don't know how a kingdom woman carries herself. We don't know how a kingdom woman thinks. Do y'all want to learn that? Do y'all want to learn how a kingdom woman carries herself and how a kingdom woman thinks and how she positions herself not only for her potential spouse but also for her purpose and her destiny? Because if that's something you want to learn, it's something I want to teach you. It's something I studied years ago and continue to remind myself. Continue. Because it's a lot we can learn from the good book about who we are, where we're going, etc. Okay, I see all of y'all saying yes. The people that are saying yes, after this live, send me a DM and say, teach me. So everybody that's saying yes, I need you to DM me and say, teach me. Because a woman of God, she has a certain confidence about herself, right? She has a certain way that she looks, a certain way that she presents herself, certain people that she submits herself to after she submits herself to God. Because that's really the cheat code. But do you know how to submit yourself to God? Do you know how to identify the areas in your life that you need help in and where to go seek that help from? I want to teach you these things because I did it already. Okay? So make sure y'all send me that DM. All right. So she says, where would you suggest going to meet new people? Honestly, anywhere and everywhere. Okay? If you think about it, anytime you go outside and you go to even just the store, you go to an event, you go to a concert, you go to a cookout, you go to a friend's birthday party, you go to a baby shower, wedding, wherever you go, you know there's going to be people there. The first thing is, if you want to start meeting new people, you need to make sure you know who you are and what kind of people you're looking to meet. Once you know that, then when you go out, you will start seeing people and you guys will naturally be like magnets to each other because you're on the same page. But if you're just going out to seek something to fill a void, what you're going to get is space fillers instead of destiny fillers. Not fillers, but, well, yeah, fillers, because that's what they do. They become the fill spot. Right? So do things that you naturally enjoy doing. Go places you naturally enjoy going. Find different events in your city that you're interested in and go to those places and be open to potentially meeting somebody while you're out just living your life. Also travel. Like when I was in the airport yesterday and the day before, plenty of people in the airport. Now, I wasn't looking to be found, so I wasn't giving off that type of energy. I was just like, look, I got to get to where I'm getting. Bye. But then there are some people that are like sitting and they're waiting for their flight and, you know, you can meet somebody there. So she said, one-sided love is also a kind of love. I don't think one-sided love is love at all. I think that one-sided love is selfish. How do I move forward with dating someone with commitment issues? He's a great man, but I'm not sure if he will ever work through his issues. So we have to start giving great man different qualities. And have started dressing up and romanticizing flying out. Look, I'm going to be cute at the airport. I got airport outfits. I have specific outfits that I'm like, oh yeah, that's the airport outfit. That's the airport outfit. Because I'm rolling through the airport looking good, smelling good. You ain't finna catch me slipping. Okay, so when we say a good man, like, is he a good, we need to think of this, is he a good employee? Because that's a good man. A good friend, a good son, a good brother. When we think about a good man for us, what makes him a good man for us? Somebody that has commitment issues and you want commitment is not a good man for you. Right? And especially if he's not showing any signs that he's working through those issues. It's one thing if a man is presented to you and it's like, oh, okay, would I be in a long distance relationship? Yeah. You want a style makeover? I used to do style makeovers. A couple years ago, I used to do them. It's one thing if it's like he comes to you and he says, I've been through some things and, I'm a little guarded, but I'm working through it and, it'll be worth it. You know what I'm saying? And you're starting to see those things happen. Like, you may address something and you see that he's actually putting actions behind it, saying that he was like, I'm going to work on this. Right? Or you start to see that he actually starts to open up a little bit more if he's somebody that's a little bit more closed in. When you start seeing those little things, that's something that's like, okay, I see the potential of growth here, and I can continue to get to know him and keep watching. Because at this point, you're literally just sitting back and you're observing his behavior to see if he's going to be a man of his word and if he's really doing the work when he's not with you. And the fact that you're unsure if he'll ever work through them, that's a pause. Not a red flag, that's a pause. For me, I would be like, I actually want commitment. That's an area that's kind of great for him. So I need to fall back a little bit, make sure I keep my emotions and everything intact before I just like fall head over heels for him and he's not doing that in return. Because people can act a certain way, they can do certain actions, etc., and their heart be far from you. Okay? Okay? Like even the Bible says that like you can be in church doing all of these great these actions, but your heart is far from God because your heart hasn't committed to God, right? And then how does God look at people like that? Because God doesn't ignore the fact that our hearts aren't committed to him, even though we may go to church, sing on the choir, usher, teach Bible study, run the media team. He sees us doing that, but if our heart isn't committed to him, what does it mean? What does it mean to God? Nothing. So you need to look at it the same way as a woman. He may be taking me out, telling me nice things, making me feel special, but because he's not committed to this, his heart ain't in it. He's going through the motions, but is his heart in it? No. And you have to ask yourself, is that something that I want? Do I want someone whose heart isn't truly in to what I have, to what I desire? Because men like that can go through all the motions without actually committing their heart and being emotionally available, it's easy for them to walk away. And then the woman who knew what she wanted and she fell right into that because his actions showed he wanted something that his mouth said he didn't. Now she's the one that's left her and he walks away fine because he just needed to get whatever he needed from that connection. But he knew he didn't want something long term. He didn't want to commit. So I will say this. I'm not going to say throw the baby out with the bathwater, but I would fall back. I would fall back a little bit and I would watch him before I let my feelings get involved and before I got attached. I will watch him and see exactly how he's moving and how he's going to move with me. And when he's going to get over what his ex did, because the reality of it is you ain't her. You ain't her. And I feel like as a woman who has been hurt, my heart's been broken. I mean, devastatingly broken, okay? And a woman who's had to go on her healing journey, I can say that I give every man that I decide to give a chance, that I feel is worthy of a chance, I give them a clean slate. They don't come in with the baggage of what somebody in my past did. They come in with a clean slate and a clean opportunity to show me who they are and what they're bringing to the table. So yeah, that's what I would do, sis. Just I would pause. I would pause. She left me over false accusations. So, and let's just say the false accusations are actually false. Then that's her loss. But I don't see a woman leaving a man over something that's false. Women normally leave when they have receipts. Not a question, but you were spot on when you talked about discernment. Met this guy only 3 weeks, went on 3 innocent dates. By the 3rd date, he kept asking me to come over his home. that was a big no. After me declining, he vanished. I thank God. Yeah. Because that means he had what he wanted in mind from the beginning. He knew exactly, okay, I'm only doing this because there's something I want to get out of this connection. And if I'm not going to get that thing that I want out of this connection, then guess what? I'm out. And that shows you where his value is when it comes to women. He looks at women as something to play with, something that to use, something that is just there, you know, for his physical enjoyment. And men that operate like that are immature. They're immature. And if that's a boundary for you, which it sounds like it is, once you state a boundary with someone that you're dating and they decide that they don't want to honor that boundary, that's your key sign to say, oh, okay, let me get up out of here. Let me get up out of here. Hey, y'all that are coming in, we're having a dating and relationship Q&A. You can drop your questions in the question box and we'll bring them up and chat about them. That's why I say, like, you know, take your time. Even if you went on those 3 dates over 30 days, take your time. See what the next 30 look like. Okay. Look, I'm over 50. I can't take my time. I took my time to long-term relationships. I don't want to do that again. 10 years and 13 years. I'm not taking any more time. I'm sorry. So my question to you then is how fast did you get into those relationships? Those relationships lasted long, but how fast did you get into them? Because normally those relationships that last long are the ones that some people have rushed into and you really didn't know that person. And then by the time you were already in the commitment, you were already like infatuated with them, where it was like, you know what? It ain't the best, but I'm going to stay. And then here's the thing. I'm not saying take 10 years, 13 years, you know, to get married or anything like that. I think that a man should know if he wants to marry you. You know, a kingdom man is going to know if he wants to marry you. It's not going to take him long to figure it out. It's not going to take them long to figure it out. Now, if you're dating a man that does not have a relationship with God, and a man that isn't seeking marriage, you get what you get. So make sure that you're seeking a man that actually has some direction in his life. What is a kingdom marriage? Great question. What is a kingdom marriage to y'all? Because a kingdom marriage to me is two people who are submitted to God, and not just submitted to God as in they go to church on Sunday. Because there's a lot of people that just show up on Sunday, they get their emotional fix, they get a good word, they out. They don't have a relationship with God throughout the rest of the week. But kingdom marriage has two people who have already sought God on their own before they even came together. And then when they came together, they had fruit of those relationships, which would make their relationship better. Shan Pons, put your question in the question box. Right? So it's someone that walks in the fruits of the Spirit, right? It's someone who has accountability. It's someone who has a prayer life. It's someone who is... Hold on. Let me look up all of them, because I don't want to misquote myself. Because these are the things I look for when I'm thinking, is this person a kingdom man, right? So, do they walk in love? Do they speak in love? Joy. Do they embody joy? Do they bring you joy? Peace. Do you have peace about this person in your spirit? Do they have peace about you? Do y'all have peaceful interactions? Kindness. Are they kind to you? Are they just naturally just nice? Are you nice to each other? Goodness. Is there good that is coming out of this connection that you have with this other person? Faithfulness. Are you both loyal to the connection that you have and not out seeking something else. Gentleness. Do you handle each other with care? Self-control. Can you control yourself, or are you hot-tempered? Right? So when I think of a kingdom marriage, I'm looking at do you carry the fruit of the Spirit? Because if you have the fruit of the Spirit, then we going in a good direction. Then do you read your Bible? How often? Do you actually have devotion time where you set out and you speak to God and read his word? Then I'm going to look at the other areas of his life too for fruit as well, because it's a man like that's going to have fruit all up and through his life. You're going to see it everywhere. It's going to be evident. Okay? So that's a kingdom marriage. And then most importantly, you have an assignment. Your marriage brings glory to God. Okay? Do you think everyone is destined to find their person? The world is just so different now. I do not think that there's one person in this world that you were just, when you were born, God was like, all right, I'm assigning you to them. That would go against the actual Bible, right? Because people have free will. So if God assigned you to this one person and you're a Christian woman, you're a believer, but they decide to be a Buddhist, you think God is going to make you have to marry that person? No. I think that we have people that we can choose. I think that there will be options. I think that there are people that, we would be a good fit, but it takes two people agreeing. How can two people walk together unless they agree? If y'all don't agree on that, then guess what? It's not going to happen. I think that if you desire marriage, I think God says he'll give you the desires of your heart. That's the Bible. The Bible says, seek me and seek the kingdom of God, and all of these things will be added unto you. That's the Bible. So if you're doubting whether or not the desires of your heart and the things that you want in your life are going to happen, I want you to ask yourself, are you seeking the kingdom so that everything else can be added on to you? That's the real question. And for some of you, y'all sitting there like, no, I haven't. I haven't been seeking God. I haven't been reading my Bible. Couldn't tell you. You got issues in other areas in your life. Have you been seeking the kingdom of God? You're not seeing the fruit in your life. Have you been seeking the kingdom of God? Because when you start seeking, that's when you start to see. God will start showing you stuff. God will start blessing you. He'll also start showing you areas where you may need some deliverance. He may show you some things in your bloodline that you need to break off. But first you have to seek the kingdom. All right. She said, try to date multiple men. I can't. So, I mean, if you're doing more than just having conversation with them, then I can see that not working for you. I can see that not working for you, because dating is just for information. If you are doing more than that, then you're probably exhausted. Okay. Excuse me. Has anyone else noticed the rise in men claiming to be poly? They say all dudes are, but they lie instead of letting it be known. They even use biblical references and try to sway. So here's the thing. Can't nobody use the Bible and trick you if you know it yourself. Let's start there. I can always tell when somebody is using the Bible to be manipulative and when somebody actually is following what the word says, because nowhere in there does it say that a poly relationship is acceptable at all. Now, back then, did men have multiple wives? Yeah, but why don't you, the better question is, why don't you go study why it was that way in that time? And it wasn't just for Christians. It was other races and cultures too, right? So you can't use the Bible when it's fitting for you. And I can always tell when somebody's using the Bible when it's fitting for them, because they're manipulative. And any man that wants to have more than one wife or more than one woman is a manipulative man. You can't tell me nothing different. You can't tell me nothing different. Okay? So no, I don't notice the rise in men claiming to be poly, because I don't put myself in those circles. I don't put myself in spaces where men with that kind of mindset would exist. That's not my social circles. I don't go where they hang out. I don't know their friends. None of that. Those people aren't my people, so no, I don't see the rise in that. And that's another thing, like I was saying earlier, when I was asking y'all about learning how to be a kingdom woman. And if you want to learn how to be a kingdom woman, send me a DM and say, teach me. I'm going to message everybody after I get off of this live. A kingdom woman doesn't put herself in spaces where she has to compromise. She doesn't do it. She knows her presence is even that valuable. Okay? He also doesn't have a very good understanding of why men have exactly. Because he doesn't study his word. He's just using the word for his benefit. And he can trick women who don't use their word, don't read their word. You are single. Is that a question or a statement? I'm not married, so I mean, by law, I am single. But I have been married before. And baby, I'm not lonely. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. One second, y'all. All right. Oop, I didn't mean to put that one up there. So y'all that are coming in the room, if you have any dating and relationship questions, make sure that you put them in the, the question box, so that way we can discuss them. Okay, here we go. What are some top questions you should be asking a man when you first start dating? I love that. Good evening from France. I can't wait to go to France one day. Like Valentine's Day in Paris. I think that would be like romantical. But so I like to know things like, what do you like to do in your free time? And I like to know that because that shows you where a man's hobbies are, right? And his interests. And, is he disciplined? Like, does he work out? Does he read? Does he like to spend time with his family? Like, what a man says he likes to do in his free time is very telling if you pay attention. Because I like to travel, I like to ask, have you traveled anywhere recently? Or do you have like any bucket list locations? Because I like to travel, and because I like to travel, I want to make sure that he can travel as well. What else would I ask? A lot of times my questions come from asking certain questions. So if you aren't in my dating boot camp, I have a series of questions, like first date questions, and then when things get a little bit more serious questions. So if you want access to that list of questions, just send me a DM and say dating boot camp, and I'll get you the information for that, because I have a bunch of them in there that would truly help you. But I like to ask all types of stuff, but my questions always lead into a conversation. Like, one of the things that we have to learn how to do when it comes to holding a conversation is asking open-ended questions. And a lot of people struggle with that. And then they're like, we were talking and then the conversation went dead. And I'm like, well, did anybody try to keep it going? But a lot of people don't know how to do that. I would also ask about like career goals and like personal goals. Like, what are some of your personal goals right now that you're working on? What career goals do you have? Are you in the career that you always thought that you would be in, right? And then that's going to open up another can of worms of questions that you're going to have. And then like also I would like, oh, if your ex-girlfriend was sitting here with us right now, what are 3 things that she would say you need to work on, and what are 3 things that she said that she loved about you? Because I need to know that you don't think that you were just this man that is so perfect that there's nothing wrong with you, and you left the last relationship and it was all her fault. Because men like that are red flags. You start coming to me with, oh, she did this and she did that and that's why we broke up and blah 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 blah. I'm looking at you like this. Really? Red flag. Because it takes 2 to tango. Hey, mahogany girl. It takes two to tango. So if you coming in here and that's how you, no, absolutely not. And yes, I will be leaving the replay up, but the replay is only for my subscribers. So make sure that you subscribe to get the replay. All right. Is it fair to ask a man to wait until marriage if you're not a virgin? Yes. Absolutely. It's always fair for you to honor the word of God. Shan, if you want to join it too, go ahead and send me a DM. My wig keeps shifting, y'all. I forgot to put the stuff on there so it wouldn't, but whatever. Y'all know I don't care. I will adjust. Yeah. So is it fair for him to have to honor Ephesians 5 when it comes to him being a husband? To loving you like Christ loves the church? I think that's fair. So if your standard is that you honor God with your life and your body, and one of the ways that you honor God with your body is that you do not have sex outside of marriage, guess what? It is what it is. And if he honors God with his life and his body, it's not going to be a big deal for him. And even if he doesn't, if he's a man that is submitted to God, and maybe that's the thorn in his side, maybe by meeting another woman who isn't as easy to fall, victim to sexual sin, will be like, you know what? I'm gonna do this because this is something that I know I needed to be doing. But in his world, he kept running into women that just, were jumping and pouncing on him, and he got weak. So yeah, and if that man and you being a virgin or not being a virgin, that doesn't disqualify you. Some men try to make it so you're on an abstinence journey. They'll make it as though since you've done it before, you shouldn't have standards. It's so unfair in my opinion. Yeah, and a man that thinks like that is a man that I would stop talking to immediately. Immediately. There's nothing for us to discuss. That when someone listen to men when they talk, because it'll tell you everything that you need to know. I'm big on people's mindsets and why they think the way that they do. So when you start saying things out of your mouth that is crazy to me, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, that's how you think. All right. So your mental capacity is way below where I would need my mans to be. It was cool, but it ain't. So bye. But never let no man guilt trip you into giving your body over to them, because he didn't pay the price. Like, why give a man access to your favor and he's not your husband? You're not my husband. By you connecting with me and creating a soul tie with me, and if I'm a woman that carries a lot of favor, because the Bible says he who findeth a wife finds favor, and I'm sitting here laying down with you, I'm giving my favor away for free for you to get it, and then if you want to leave, you can leave? Oh, absolutely not. But again, that's why I said, kingdom women carry themselves different. And if you want to learn, because I see some new people that came here, how to be a kingdom woman, make sure you DM me, teach me. Kingdom women, they carry themselves different. Having access to me is a privilege. Coming in my space is a privilege. Why? Because I know what I carry. How do you redirect those sexual comments? You simply let them know, hey, I'm not comfortable with those comments. Could you not make them anymore? They're going to do one or two things. They're going to get offended and never talk to you again, or they're going to apologize and they're going to treat you with respect. Period. Would you have a long distance relationship with the person who lives in Nigeria for over 9 months? So you're talking to a woman who has dated Nigerian men and was treated like a queen by the Nigerian men that I've dated. So if I was, let's say for instance, hypothetically, oh, and that's another thing. If y'all want to travel with me to Nigeria, you can in 2024. I put some information on my page about it. But if you've never been to Nigeria and you desire to go to Nigeria, there's a link in my bio so you can read all the information about it. And I'm actually going live talking about it tonight too at like 7. So yes, I would. If I met a man and I was in Nigeria, because I was just in Nigeria in August. Say I was in Nigeria and I met a man there. We hit it off, and then we stayed in touch. We decided to make things official because we felt like we were a good fit. I would definitely go ahead and see if it was worth it, especially if I had the peace of God behind it and I felt like this was really the man for me. For sure, I would do it. Those Nigerian men were Igbo, weren't they? Not all of them, no. Not all of them. The first one, what's the other tribe? Igbo, and what's the other one? I'm gonna look it up because it's gonna kill me if I don't remember. Yoruba? No, actually, I think he was Igbo. Because, yeah, I don't think I like Yoruba men. He was Igbo. And when I first met him, child, first of all, I didn't even know he was Nigerian until he opened his mouth. He looks very American. And I was like, he is fine. And he came right over to my car and started talking to me. This is when I lived in Atlanta. And we went on dates with us at an aquarium. We would go out to eat. But he lived in Nigeria. He ended up going back. He did end up coming back to the U.S. sometime later. I think he's in like Texas or something like that. But yes, man, he was so sweet. So, okay. So, yeah, I would do it, but I would make sure I had the peace of God. I would be praying and fasting like no other. I'm going to be praying and fasting like no other, no matter what man I think is worth, my time. Because I need to be sure you are worth my time. I'm asking God, if this is not it, tear it apart. If this is not the one, don't let me be blinded by my feelings and my emotions and my desires to have partnership. If this is not it, reveal it to me in a dream. If this is not it, may everything that's laying dormant in him that's going to try to come out later, come out now. If he's not the one and he's got a wife somewhere, have her slide into my DMs expeditiously. Though that's the kind of conversation I have with God. God, are we in alignment? Can this man cover me? This is the assignment on my life. This is what you called me to do. Can this man cover me and back me and support me in this? Because what's more important to me while I'm a single kingdom woman is my assignment. Because my assignment is not going to end when this man comes into my life. Is he going to add, is he going to help cultivate the woman that you call me to be? Because that's also part of his responsibility. He's getting favor from me, but he's also supposed to be, as the head, he's supposed to be cultivating me and helping me and pushing me. Can he do that? Because if he can't do that, no, it's a no for me. It's a no for me. So the answer overall is yes. How should you properly ask for a date is expensive? For example, hot air balloon rides, lunch, or cruises. I think lunch can be fairly non-expensive, right? Like a guy cash apping you like some money, like $50 for lunch. Ain't crazy. That's not crazy. I don't think that's super expensive. Now, when it comes to experiences like traveling and hot air balloons, those are things that when you guys are getting to know each other, and you ask each other, like, what's something that you've never done, that you've never done before that you would like to do? And when you give him your answer, he's going to know. He's going to make a mental note of it. If this is a good man that desires to make you happy and is interested in providing those experiences for you, he's going to make a mental note. She wants to get in a hot air balloon. Okay. Or you say, I've always wanted to, I've traveled to Bahamas, I've traveled to Jamaica, but I've never taken a cruise. I've been wanting to take a cruise for forever. And you express how interested you are in doing this. A good man is listening. Because when he feels like you guys have reached that stage, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to ask for that like on the first date. Like, that's crazy. When y'all finally get to that stage, it's like, you know what, for her birthday, I'm going to surprise her with a cruise. For Valentine's Day, hot air balloon. Or when I propose, hot air balloon. So you don't really have to ask a man for much. As women, we do more suggesting. We do more suggesting, especially when you're dating in that phase. Now, when you're married, I'm gonna be like, babe, can you blah 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 blah? Because at that point, it's like I'm asking myself. Two have become one. You know what I'm saying? Then we have graduated to a new level. Dating is exhausting. How do you stay encouraged and positive after dealing with bad relationships? Great question. So one, I had to heal. I had to heal what was in me that was attracted to these men that kept giving me these bad experiences, right? I had to have a real conversation with self, like, self, now, you know better. What's going on in you that you keep choosing these dummies? And what I found out when and here's the thing, you got to keep it real with yourself. What if they promised a cruise and now nothing? You don't know that it's now nothing. They just may not be doing it on your timetable. They may not be doing it on your timetable. And then also you can suggest, hey, I was looking at some cruises. I found these. What do you think? He might have to fit it into his budget. You never know. So back to the question. I had to be real with myself. I was choosing people out of loneliness sometimes. Yeah, you can recover from infidelity in a relationship. I can't, but people can. I can't, but other people can. Out of loneliness, out of, single woman, no kids. I'm tired of being in the house by myself. I want somebody to hang out with. And for the sake of company and for the sake of fulfilling that void that I had, I would just, he's not perfect, but I'll work with him. And then working with him turns into you guys getting closer. And then you choosing this person for forever. And then you're attached to them because you're filling a void. You haven't dealt with the real void, the real root of the issue is the fact that you never forgave your daddy because your daddy abandoned you. You never forgave that little girl that said she couldn't be your friend in the sandbox because she rejected you. And she planted that seed of rejection in you, and that seed has been multiplying ever since because you never dealt with it. So now all of the unresolved issues that you have are coming to the surface. And this is how you're attaching and attracting yourself to people because you're doing it from this space. So yeah, dating is going to be exhausting when you're dating from a deficit. You're going to date from a deficit, it's going to exhaust you because you're already missing things. You have not filled yourself up with what you needed. So you're already exhausted by yourself, right? Like at some point you got to be tired of you. And then you decide that you're going to go and connect with these people that mean good. Yeah, that is exhausting because now you keep giving and giving and giving and you don't have nothing to give. So you're exhausted. Once you learn to choose better, well, first of all, once you learn who you are, how to carry yourself, how to conduct yourself, what you want, and how to choose better, you'll start having better experiences because you're not going to be wasting your time. You're exhausted because you're wasting your time in spaces with people that don't deserve it. They don't see your value. So I would say go back, start at point A, and start with you. And until you get you together, stay out that dating pool, girl. Advice on dating sabbaticals. I've decided I needed a break from dating. I think they're great. I'm on one right now. I am technically on a dating sabbatical, and the only reason I have someone in my life right now is because they were a friend beforehand. But I am in no shape, way, or form interested in meeting anybody new right now. Actually, let me take that back. Because I want my words to block my blessings. I am not actively seeking to be found, if that makes sense. Like before I was like intentionally like, let me go out, live my life because da 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 da. Right now I am chilling. And if I come across a man that isn't the man that I'm talking to now, and God says that's my husband, so be it. But I'm not in a space where I'm like, oh, I want to date. No, I'm chilling. Taking the rest of the year, the end of the year off to really focus on me, focus on God, focus on the things that he has promised for me. I mean, you never know. You never know. A lot can happen before the year is over. A lot can happen before the year is over. So take the break. I survive it by not going crazy because my life isn't dependent upon somebody else's existence at all. I don't need a man. I desire one. I need a husband. I don't need just a man to be in space. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that. I'm very content with myself. I live a very fulfilling life. Very fulfilling. Perfect? No. Because, I go through stuff just like anybody else. Right? Like life be lifing. If I want to keep it a band, life be lifing. Right? But if I'm by myself, well, am I going to go crazy? No. I got too much to do. And that's another thing. When I was talking about the kingdom woman has an assignment. And when you really know who you are in God, and God is speaking to you about the things that he wants you to do, you are busy. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I got a conference to plan. I'm teaching classes once a month, which means I have to study, right? Because I have to study before I teach. I am, what else am I doing? I'm fasting. I'm praying. I'm working a job. That's a writing books. I got stuff to do. Every time I get a free moment that's not like a time of rest, like I got a list sitting in front of me like, okay, yeah, you need to do that, you do that, you do that, you do that. I got brand deals. I have this platform. This platform in itself, y'all, is a full-time job. It's a full-time job. Because I've created like 6 videos of content that y'all will see over the next probably couple of months or couple of weeks. But I had to sit down and batch the content. Why? Because walking in my purpose. I started a YouTube channel. Y'all go follow my YouTube channel. I need subscribers on YouTube. Can y'all follow my YouTube channel, please? Speaking of, I need to put that link in my little bio thing. It's very easy to say, "Well, you made me," because I put some new videos up on my YouTube today. That it's 2 on there that y'all ain't never seen before. I'm putting a lot of the content, 90% of the content right now, at least, that is going to be on my YouTube channel is going to be content y'all have never seen before, and I'm not bringing it over here. I'm not taking the YouTube content and bringing it over to Instagram. That's not happening. So the content that's going to be on YouTube is actually going to be different. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm putting the link in the bio right now. At first, it'll be at the top of the list. Boom. So y'all go subscribe. Subscribe, comment, like, all that, do all that stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I have a goal to meet by the end of the year with my YouTube channel. It is linked in my bio now for those of you that are going to support your girl. I got 10 subscribers right now. 10. I started yesterday though, so I'm not like, that doesn't make me feel any kind of, but I'm starting from scratch. So yeah, and also during that dating sabbatical, like I would just like, I would take time getting to know more of myself. Oh, I'm reading like 4 books right now. Like during that dating sabbatical, you should be pouring into yourself, spending time with God, spending time in prayer, and pouring into yourself. It's so necessary. Okay, next question. If a man claims to be interested in you, how flexible should you be with his busy schedule? What's an appropriate time frame to allow for the first date before you say he's really not interested? So it'll be, thank you, girl. I appreciate all of y'all that are going to subscribe. I appreciate it. Okay, because I need subscribers. If he claims he's interested, and this is somebody that you just met, like y'all don't know each other, there's no history, nothing like that, and he's not making an effort to plan a date, I wouldn't really waste too much time with him. And I've been in that space. There was a guy, you know, flirting and talking and doing all of this stuff, kept saying, oh, I owe you dinner and blase, 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 but I never really fed into it because he didn't make no move on it. Or he'd be like, oh, we should hang out. And then he would never make a move on it. So I would just I would listen to what he said. I didn't cut him off because he was a friend first. And it was just like, you know, what am I cutting off, a friend? So I didn't take it to that extreme. But I did, you know, just not take him seriously. And I moved right along and kept on and I started dating the men that were showing up. Thank you, sis. I started dating the men that were showing up. I stopped worrying about the men that were not. You know, if all you want to do is flirt with me and make these empty promises, that's cool. That's fine. I don't care because I'm not attached to you in no type of way. You're not hurting my feelings by not planning this date. You're not disappointing me by not planning this date because I am not emotionally invested in you by any means necessary. So, till then, he would be on the bench while everybody else is playing the game. And that's just where I'm at with it. So I don't think there's a time frame. If he's not showing up and doing the things, you shouldn't be sitting back waiting on him. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Because I certainly went right on about my dating life and he had said something to me. He was like, he had said something to me. I said, look, you're going to keep playing around to the point where, I'm going to be married. I'm going to be in a relationship. Okay, Mahogany? May the best man win. He who applieth the most pressure win. And that's on period. So yeah, that's how I would handle that. Ooh, how do you move on from an ex? I just can't seem to let go. I work with him and see him every day. Ooh, girl. So one, it sounds like you're in a space where you need to do some work on your level of attachment and just, you know, your what is that called? Your independence, because you can get to a certain place in your life where people's existence and people being in the same vicinity of you doesn't bother you. Okay? Now, if y'all don't have my book, this is linked in the bio too. Make sure you get it. Let's see if I can find something to give you a little tidbit real quick, because I talk about healing in here. The chapter is called Heal Forward. Where are we at? 63. Okay. So, oh no, that ain't even the right chapter. Oh, I want to revise this book a little bit. I feel like I've learned so much stuff since the beginning of me putting this book out that I'm like, I should add to it. I'll probably do that in maybe a year or two. So one thing, healing is a journey, and many times we feel like healing is a place that we arrive and that we just stay there, right? So realistically, if you want to heal from something, you have to accept the fact that it's going to take some time. And if you're not arriving to this place, you're just getting to a place within yourself where certain things just don't bother you anymore. But what you're going to have to do, it sounds like you need some emotional healing. So for emotional healing, the first thing you need to do is you need to focus on yourself. Right now, it sounds like you still have some focus on him because the fact that he works with you is still right here. When work should be, I'm at work, I'm doing my job, and I'm going home. Not focused on him, right? So you have to take that attention off of the fact that he works with you and attention off of him and that y'all had a relationship and put it back on you and say, I come to this establishment to get a job done, to pay my bills and go home. That's it. If he is, if he's bothering you at work, set some boundaries. Hey, this is over. I don't need you talking to me unless it's about work, etc. Keep it moving. But the most important thing is that you're going to have to take that time out to really love yourself, because the more you love yourself, baby, them people and them folks do not matter. And that really goes for any relationship, because I can be friends with somebody, and if at any point in that friendship, he and I stop being friends, but we run into each other, your existence in my presence is not going to move me. Not one bit. I am not going to care, because when I let people go, I release them completely. So you have to get into a space where you learn how to release people completely and go on with your life. And it doesn't mean that you don't care. It doesn't mean that you don't love them. It doesn't mean that the relationship wasn't real. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that that part of your story is now over and you are turning the page. Realize that I have an anxious attachment style, no reference of healthy dating habits, expectations. Help. Yes, girl, I got a lot of things that I can help you. Is this the water I was drinking? Yeah. So, if you click the link in my bio, the dating boot camp, I have an extensive breakdown of attachment styles and how to heal them. And this is under the tab that says all dating and relationship ebooks and classes. And then I taught a class, 2 weeks ago? That's called Dodging Disappointment While Dating. So the dating boot camp and the dodging disappointment while dating class, definitely for you. Link is in the bio. Go ahead and grab it. And then also too, there's a book in my Amazon store called Attached. Grab that book too, or get it on Audible. I have it on Audible. And just start addressing what happened when you really dig deep into healing your attachment style. You are healing the inner child in you, and doing that inner child work is deep. Okay, deep. You may even need some therapy, because that's how I started to learn how to heal my inner child. Therapy plus Jesus, winning combination. Do I have a podcast? I do have a podcast. I have not recorded on that podcast in God knows how long. But if you go to the link in my bio, there's a little tab that says listen to my podcast, and you can go on there and see what I got on there. One of these days, I'm going to start recording again. Oh, I just don't know what day that's going to be. But I really want a live podcast. I think that's what is stopping me, because I would rather have a live podcast. So what books am I reading? All the books that I have read or even currently reading are in my Amazon store. So if you click the link in my Amazon store, you'll see, let me just pull it up so I don't misquote myself. Because I'm reading 3 or 4 books right now, if I'm honest with you. Plus the Bible. So I am reading The Garden Within, The Resolution Woman, All Hope Is Found. Yeah, those are the 3 books. And I'm listening to Demonic Covenants and Curses on Audible, because the Audible just came out. I already read the book, but I had the Audible playing, baby. I might let that Audible play in my house and just let it play, because break all curses and demonic covenants, because baby, I ain't got time. Speaking of, I knew it was something I wanted to talk to y'all about. I probably wanted to do this on a separate live, but I can start the conversation here. Actually, let me go through these questions first before I talk about that, because what I was when I was on the plane yesterday and I was listening to the book, I was like, something that I haven't really addressed on this platform is that some of you, the reason that you're having such bad relationship experiences is because there is a curse on your life, and there's a demonic covenant that has been made on an altar in your bloodline somewhere that is causing you to have delays in your relationship, that's causing you to continue to meet men that treat you not. A lot of people don't know that this can be on their life. And you can do all the healing work that you want to do, but if you don't know specifically what you're targeting in prayer and fasting, you're going to keep walking around with this reason. Some of you don't know, you might have a spirit husband. You just never know, right? So that's something I was like, maybe that's something I'll start addressing more on here too, because the reality of it is sometimes it's deeper than rap. Sometimes it's deeper than, I was with this person and they cheated. Nothing on relationships, but how to cope after friendships end. How do I cope after friendships end? So right now I have a really, really solid, my friendships are solid. I don't have, my alarm is going off. This is my alarm. I set an alarm for like 3 to 4 times out the day when it's time for me to give thanks for something that I'm praying for from God. But I'm going to do it after I get off of here. Yeah, my friendships are pretty solid. I did lose a friend earlier this year, but the way I dealt with it was that one, God had already warned me, and I just accepted the fact that they weren't good for me. Same way I would do a man. They're not good for me, and I can't have anybody around me that God doesn't deem good for me for the reasons that he told me, right? So when it was revealed to me where I mismanaged the friendship and where I should have had a boundary, I accepted it as, okay, it's my fault. Because I should have had the right boundaries in place. And sometimes, and here's another thing, sometimes you can be friends with people who have trauma that ends your friendship. While men have trauma that ends like your romantic relationships, you can be friends with people who have trauma that is unresolved, that is killing not just your friendship, but their other friendships too. Maya, what you talking about? I think I might have missed something because I'm not sure what you're referencing. So yeah, realize if this friendship a friendship that was worth me having. Was it mutually beneficial? Were there some red flags that I missed out for? Or is this a friendship where, I think I need to give that person some space and maybe we can reconcile later in life, right? You just never know. But you have to get to that place where it's like, we were friends, and it can hurt. If you want to cry about it, if you want to be sad, if you all of those feelings are natural, and they're valid. Me and my best friend stopped talking because of her closeness and trauma, lack of communication. Yeah, me and my best friend, we did a live together actually. Was it about friendship? It might have been on Facebook, but we were talking about why is the filter doing that? I don't like that. You just keep it off if you're gonna be flickering like that. But she and I have fallen out and gotten back friends, and fallen out and got back friends and we've been friends over a decade. But I was working through some stuff, she was working through some stuff. So y'all may come back together. It just depends. Y'all both have to be working, right? Like, because we both were doing the work individually as we grew up, now our friendship is, child, blood couldn't make us no thicker. All right, next question. How do I help a friend who's in denial that the man is treating her right and the man doesn't value her? Also, they are not dating yet because she told him not to pursue her when they first met, but she's already falling for him and spamming him with calls and messages. this is a friend that you're not going to be able to help. This is a friend where you can say whatever you want to say to her and be like, hey girl, I don't think he's the one for you. And then after that, you need to bow out gracefully and let her go ahead and do what she's going to do, because she's already delusional. What they call it, delulu, she's already delulu. So she's going to have to fall on her face. She's going to have to fall on her face, unfortunately. But I've gotten to the place in my life where I let grown women do what grown women want to do. And if you ask me for my advice, I give it to you. But I've also learned how to just sit back and listen and let people live their lives the way they want to live them, because they are grown. And I am not about to stress myself out because you don't know what you deserve. Not me. I ain't going to do it. You can look at my life and let my life be an example for you of what you could have. You could look at my dating experiences and see how well they're going and see what you could have. But I'm not going to stress myself out about that. I would keep my friend in prayer, as I keep all my friends in prayer. I pray for my friends every day. And, God can move in that area. But I wouldn't try to force it. So there was one part in the book, it was called Deliverance from the Spirit Husband or Wife. And this is what I was talking about earlier, because I think that's the last question. How many of you have ever heard of a spirit husband or a spirit wife? So a spirit spouse is a specific person with a particular face who relates with you consistently as a husband or wife. In most cases, the spirit husband or wife may appear with someone else's face. The relationship of a spirit spouse is not limited to dreams alone. A lady once told me, not me, the person that wrote the book, that whenever she was preparing to get married, a well-dressed man will appear in her dream, warning her not to ever get married, and that if she did, her husband in the physical will die. The rest of the story and other story, and this story is in the book, and this book is linked in my my bio. But pretty much, basically, it's and you can, spirit spouses can be from many open doors, sexual sin, etc. But if you don't know that you have this, and you're like, I've been trying to get married, I haven't been able to get married, you may have a spirit spouse, and that means that you have a spirit in the spirit literally blocking you from getting married. And every time you get someone in your life that is going well, etc., they try to chop it off. Not even try, they chop it off. And then you're like, dang, everything was going so good, how did this happen? And it continues to happen. It's a pattern. You might have a spirit spouse. And so it has some couple of things that you could pray, some prayer points, renouncing marital vows or agreements that entered into your ancestors or your parents on your behalf, because spiritual generational curses are real. And then it goes into I break and deactivate all vows and covenants entered into with the spirit husband or wife, and a bunch of different commands that pull you out of that. What does the spirit need from you to keep you in that place of delay? Do you know how powerful it is for you to get married to another kingdom man? Do you know how angry Satan is when you link up with another kingdom man and y'all actually start making hell nervous? So that's what the spirit wants from you. Wants to prevent that from happening. He knows that two are better than one. He knows that. Anything that the enemy that can prevent you from getting to your destiny, he's going to try it if there's an open door. If you want to know how my dating life is, girl, you have to subscribe, because my subscribers know exactly how my dating life has been actually for the past year. Yes, it's in my Amazon storefront. It's the only book I have in there on deliverance. But baby, get it. Get it. Get it. I was on the plane, because now it's on Audible too. I had the Kindle version. I had the Kindle version up and it playing in my ear, going through the prayers. And baby, I woke up feeling a brand new woman. I didn't even finish it out. I said, oh, so I didn't even know something was going on. But because the prayers were going and I was in agreement, something was broken off of me. So yeah, if you're feeling like, I've done everything that have that I know to do, it may just be deeper as to why relationships aren't working for you. A spirit spouse could have been let into your life by the parent, for sure. But the prayers are powerful. Like one says, I send my body to the heavenly surgical room for a complete operation to repair, restore, or put right any damage done in any part of my body and or my earthly marriage by a spirit husband or wife, in the name of Jesus. Take me to the spiritual surgical room, Jesus. Put me on the table. Work on my heart, work on my mind, work on my body. Get whatever you need to get up out of it. Put me on the table, because I at this stage of my life, I want everything that God wants for me, and I want it expeditiously. So yeah. Any other questions? I've been on here for about an hour or so. I will leave this live up for my subscribers. Y'all don't forget to if y'all go to the link in my bio, 10 times out of 10, everything that you need from me is there. If you want to take the class where I'm teaching you on how to be a kingdom woman, link is in the bio. Want a book that I'm reading or reference? It's in my Amazon storefront. My favorite Amazon finds. Link is in the bio. You want to come to me to Nigeria? Link is in the bio. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I need subscribers. Link is in the bio. You want to talk to me one-on-one? Link is in the bio. You want to order my book, Pressure, Lessons in Love versus Toxicity? Link is in the bio. You want to join my email list? Link is in the bio. You want to see what's on my Amazon wish list? If you want to send me a gift, link is in the bio. If you want to read my latest blog post, link is in the bio. If you want to listen to my podcast, even though there's no new episodes, link is in the bio. If you want to be in the Facebook group, link is in the bio. If you want to read a couple articles from magazines that I was featured in, link is in the bio. Everything is there. Okay, friends? So, again, for all of those of you that sent me a DM saying teach me, I'm going to get you the information for the class for when I teach it. And those of you that need all the other stuff, go ahead and click the link in my bio. I will be coming back live tonight at about 7, I think. I think it's 7. So what time is it? Oh, so very soon. Let me take a break. And we'll be talking about the Nigeria trip. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure that you come back when I come back at... Let me confirm that it's 7 o'clock. Let me not be telling stories. Facebook group, link in the bio. I can still find it this way. That's weird. One second. I should have gone to it recently. All right, well, I know how to find it. I just have to go the long way. Where am I at? Okay. Here we are. So yeah, 7 p.m. Seven p.m. It's gonna be at 7 p.m. It's already scheduled. I can't change the time. All right, so bye. And if you want this replay, remember, subscribe.